Welcome back to another review on the Simple Kai Guy channel. Today we're taking a look at this Oiiwak compact borescope with a 50-foot cable. These little cameras on the end of the cable are very useful for homeowners, contractors, and mechanics. So let's check this one out and see how useful it really is. The one I have here sells for $139 and currently has a $30 coupon, making it $110 on Amazon. It comes with a very long cable, as I mentioned, but you can get the same version of the device with a 5-foot cable for about half the price. So let's see what comes in the box and how this device functions. Alright then, so what do you get for the 110 bucks you spent on this new toy? Well, it comes in this box. You got the name, you got the model, so the 15M, which is going to be the 15 meters or 50 feet. Made in China. You also get your user manual. User manual is decent. I mean, there's not that much to learn about it on how to use it, but you can see that they expect you to use it in this orientation. You have description of the buttons. The cable is detachable, which I'll show you in a second, and tells you how to charge it. It does come with a micro USB charge cable. We just plug in into any USB port and it will charge. So yeah, that's that. Now it also comes with some accessories. So you have your magnet, which screws onto the end of this. You can take this part off and then screw on a magnet instead, or a hook. I've used these before. They're very useful, especially if you're working in cramped space. You can see where you're going and grab a washer or a nut or something like that. And you have a 90-degree angle one, so it just goes basically 90 degrees. All right, now let's take a look at the actual device. I guess we have to hold it this way. So it fits in the hand pretty nicely, so you can use it with one, you can keep it in one hand while you're fishing with the camera in the other direction. So I think ergonomically it's pretty nice. On the bottom here we have some sticky pads so it doesn't slide if you decide to put it on a table, so that holds pretty well. Now at the right side of the device we have our on-off button. You have your brightness dial here, as well as the micro SD card on the bottom here. Let's see how fast it turns on. So let's see. So about 5 seconds for it to turn on, not too bad. And at the bottom here you have the micro USB port to charge it and for your lanyard or something like that. All right, the camera is detachable, as I mentioned, so you can unplug it here, and as you can see it just stops recording because there's nothing coming in anymore. So if you do have another one of these, the one with a 5-foot or something like that cable, then you can probably interchange them, but I haven't tried that myself, so don't quote me on that. I've also tried plugging this into the computer and it's not detected, at least not on a Macintosh Apple computer. All right, let's plug that back in and the video is right back. So there's no restart or anything like that needed. All right, so let's go through the manual real quick to see what else is in here. As you can see, you have 4 little buttons, or I guess like virtual buttons in here. The one on the left, that's to take a screenshot or take a picture. So it's just press a button, it says take photo, and it takes a photo. Now you can go to the next one, that's going to be take video. So if I click OK, it's going to start recording whatever I'm pointing to. Obviously, it's using JPEG format for the pictures and AVI for video. So make sure if you're exporting this to a computer, it's actually compatible. Okay. Here you can review the stuff you just recorded. So we can go ahead and play the video that we just recorded. It's not the highest refresh rate, but that's not really what you're looking for with these videos, I don't believe. At least not in my case. You just want to see what's going on, and it doesn't have to be like super high quality. Well, it has to be good quality, but not super high refresh rate. All right, let's go back, and now we're going to go to the options. Click OK, and there's a few things you can change in here. Make sure you can actually see. Resolution, so the resolution is 1080p, and you can lower it. You cannot go any higher than 1080p. English, you can switch to any of these languages. Brightness, I mean, I wouldn't touch this, so you can basically decrease brightness, but I don't really know why you would do this. Makes sense to just keep it at the highest brightness. The battery is like 2800 milliamp hours, and it lasts about, I would say 4 hours or so. Zoom in, this is a digital zoom, so like I said, I would probably not use this unless absolutely necessary. If you're going to be moving the video to a computer, you definitely want to keep the original zoom because it's digital, so you can probably do a better job in a nice video editing software. Okay, and then you can rotate, so you can rotate the image. Oops. You can rotate the image left and right, so that's kind of the orientation that you prefer. You can also format your SD card if needed. I also wanted to answer some of the frequently asked questions that I've seen people post about these kind of products. So let me get straight into those. Is it waterproof? Yes, it's IP68 rating. So you can look that up and see how well that is and if it's good enough for you. But basically you can put it in the water, I believe, for like 30 minutes at a time at certain depths. Can you turn off the light? So as you can see, the light is off. You can turn it as bright as you can. All right. Is the battery removable? No, it is not. The battery is not removable. How big is the LCD panel here? It is 4.3 inches. So decent size, probably like a smaller phone size nowadays. How long does the battery last? It's a 2800 milliamp battery that lasts about 4 to 5 hours, depending on how much you use the LEDs. Can you record video and audio? Yes, you can. And you will need to take the SD card out right here in order to retrieve it. You just plug it into your laptop with a little adapter. Does it zoom? Yes, it does, but it's digital, so I wouldn't recommend using it unless you absolutely have to. Resolution 1080p max. So there's definitely a lot of positives about this unit, but are there any negatives? Well, the camera head does not flex very well at the edge here, so it probably doesn't go through like very tight corners that well. It can also be a little bit difficult to orient the camera, while you're in a pipe or something else. So to kind of see like where is up, where is down, if it's important. Also, the unit itself is not waterproof, as we can see by exposed micro SD card slot, and there's no grommets or anything here. So this is waterproof, this is not, so you can't use it in the rain or anything like that. Now let's go test some of the scenarios in the real world. I do have to say that my dad has borrowed the other Borescope that I have tested before or reviewed before, and I don't think I'm getting it back. He loves it and uses it for work, checking clogged drains, kinks in the electrical piping, and whether or not the wall has obstructions, when installing like electrical conduits and more. So I don't do that type of work, but I do work on cars. So let's see how useful this unit actually is. One of the cool uses for this device would be inspecting a car. So you can do things like check the brakes. So you can see the brake pads right there. Right, but not only that, you can check on the back as well, because in the front you can kind of see depending on your wheels, but in the back you can't really. So with this little camera, just stick it in there and you can see exactly how much brake pad you have left. You can even use it to inspect your serpentine belt or other components in the engine that are hard to see otherwise. So I'm going to stick the camera in there. You can see the top. Back out a little bit so we can see how the belt is looking. Go a little bit deeper. Look at this one as well. All right, we're looking for any cracks, things like that. There it is in view. You can definitely see the condition of it, which is really nice. You can also inspect other parts of the engine. If you're looking for any leaks, let's say there might be a leak around the turbos or by somewhere in this area, whatever it may be, you can go in and stick the camera in there and just make sure there's no leaks. Or if you have a leak coming, you can see where it starts or originates. So that's definitely a cool use for this device. You can even inspect the cylinder of the engine that you might be buying as a replacement, or just checking the health of, you know, a car you're trying to buy, especially if it's a project car or something like that. You can definitely see this one has a little bit of rust or something, and definitely a lot of buildup on the cylinder. So you probably want to avoid something like this. But yeah, very cool that you can see it with this little camera right through the spark plug hole. So if you had some kind of blockage or something, you can stick one of these cameras in there and see what it is. I don't know how far you'd be able to stick it in without like an actual fishing tape, but so far I put like 3 feet in, and it works. So you can see that this pipe right here is actually very good. There's no additional, there's like nothing blocking it and everything, so I'm good to go. You can even check inside your sink to see what's blocking the water, if it's blocking anything. On that note, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the links in the description if you'd like to purchase one, and I'll see you in the next one.